don't dodge, it's confirmed.
Only complaint with him is that his weapon you get doesn't do madness damage.
Oh,
You
yeah.
send like a
armor that boosts attack?
Yeah.
What's that? Is it a DLC one or?
Yeah, DLC one. It's in North. It's in the North. It's like.
Welcome everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about my Dragon Faith Magma build. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but I'll figure it out before I release the video. It would be the title. But I wanted to go over the weapons, talismans, spells, stats, armor, in more of like a detailed type of thing than I usually do. Instead of just showing you, I'm just going to have gameplay in the background while I go over and talk about it and show you like the different alternatives for talismans and weapons and stuff. I put some examples of me using the build in the beginning, as you would have saw before you got to this part, and then during, while I'm explaining, I'll have more gameplay on in the background. But I just want to go over everything real quick, and the first thing I want to talk about are the weapons. So I typically run 3 weapons, or 4 I guess if you count the dragon seal, but I'll run double magma blades, which I feel are a staple in this build because they're just so good. They do very well. They're magma, of course, and they really like to proc some of the talismans that we will have. And then the big weapon, I typically like using the ancient meteoric greatsword the most. I just like its Ash of War or skill, and I just find that I get the most damage to that. But obviously you can use whatever you want if you really want. I've come up with 3, so I've come up with Ancient Meteoric Greatsword because it scales off Arcane, and that's kind of what we're pumping other than strength. So the Ancient Meteoric Greatsword, the Pertrescence Cleaver, I hope I said that right. I probably just super butchered that name, but it's the boss that you fight. It's a Remembrance Ash weapon that you get from a boss that you fight down where Saint Trina is, which I find very fun because it has frost. So if you're able to proc frost, you can then swap to the magma blades and reset frost so you can then proc it again. But it does only have a 55 frost buildup, so it is going to take you some time to actually proc that. But you do hit a lot with it, which is nice because then it also procs our talisman. And then the other weapon, if you want to just go full magma, you can do the Wyvern Scale Sword. If you just want to go full magma, take full advantage of your Dread Talisman. But those are the weapons I would use in this build. If you have a different weapon, if you have a weapon that doesn't even have a skill or Ash of War and you want to use that, I would go ahead. Obviously, I'm just like a kind of showing you what I like to use. Obviously, use what you want to use. But those are the weapons that I would focus on. And then, of course, your seal is the Dragon Communion Seal. Your armor, I don't really care what armor I wear. I just like to look cool or stupid. Either way, there's no certain armor that like gives you buffs. There probably are that could help you out, but I'm not really like wearing armor for the stats. I wear it to look cool. So wear whatever you want. If there's a certain armor set you like, wear it. I would personally try to keep your weight a little low because you're gonna be carrying a lot of weapons on you, which adds weight. But obviously wear whatever you want. Everyone's stats are gonna be different because we're all different levels. So if you have like your endurance pumped, you can wear super heavy armor. If you don't, you probably want to wear it on the lighter side. But talismans is probably the most important part of this build, so I kind of want to take a little time going into that. So the 2 staple talismans that I would say that are pretty much a must-have in this build is the Shard of Alexander and the Talisman of the Dread. So Shard of Alexander, as everyone probably knows, greatly boosts the attack power of your skills by 15%. That is huge. That is a lot of damage that you're getting from that just one talisman. And the Talisman of the Dread raises your potency of magma, which we will be dropping a lot. And some of our spells have it. Our magma blades have it. If you use the magma scale sword, that has it. So you just are really stacking on more and more damage. So I would feel like these 2 are pretty staple. The other ones you can switch about however you want. Personally, I'll tell you what I run. I run the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman because in the DLC the bosses hit so hard. And then I also run the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia for the raising attack power with successive attacks because the magma blades attack so fast that you can proc it, swap to your other weapon, which in my case would be the meteoric greatsword, and then slam its skill, and you're going to do a ton of damage. Also the cleaver, I'm not going to try the first part of the name because I butchered it, attacks a lot with its skill. So within one use of its skill, you're going to proc it anyways. So I feel like Rotten Wing Insignia is just really good. If you don't know how to get it, you get it by doing Millicent's Quest, so just look up a guide on how to get it. Pretty easy, but you do have to get very far in the game to get it. But if you're in the DLC, you should already have it. But I want to go over alternatives that you could use instead of the Winged Sword Insignia or the Great Shield Talisman. The obvious first part is Millicent's Prosthesis or the just normal Winged Sword if you don't have the Rotten. It's going to do the same thing, just a little bit less damage. Also, if you don't want to, for some reason, use the Magma Blades, because you can't get them to drop, they took me forever to farm, like an hour plus probably, you can just full go on to your big weapon, and you can run the two-handed sword talisman or the jumping claw, or you can run them both, whatever you want to do, which will make your big weapon do even more damage, more stagger, knock down, proccing your stuff. It's perfect. And then also just going to add in like two really good ones is the two or one-headed turtle talisman, because you're going to go through a lot of stamina. So that's really good. And then also the Great Jar Arsenal or Erdtree favor, always really good just to throw on. Getting the extra weight, heavier armor, more defense is always nice. Erdtree just giving you more health, stamina, and equip load for heavier armor is always nice. I really enjoy those talismans. I feel like if I don't know what to run, I always throw one of those on. So that's what I would use. Now, there's 4 staple spells, I would say, that I would definitely run this deck. If you don't have them, I would try to get them as soon as possible. Or if you just are like, nah, I don't like those spells, use it whatever you want. But Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, or Shabiri's Howl. I like Flame Grant Me Strength because I don't want the extra damage increase. But if you don't really care about the extra damage increase, I'd go Shabiri's, and it lasts longer, Shabiri's does. So that's also another benefit. And then I would say Theodrix's Magma and Bale's Tyranny are very strong with this build. Bale's Tyranny is really fun to use because you just do some massive nuke around you. And I feel like that's just what everyone wants to do. And then the other stuff you can just run whenever you want. If you want to do lightning stuff because you're pumping faith, or I'm pumping faith at least. If you want to do like more bleed, you could do the flies. Really just put whatever you want. You could do the rot breath or the ice breath, because you can ice breath, proc freeze, and then get rid of it with the magma blade. So you can just keep kind of doing that. But I feel like in the DLC, bosses are just on you so much. I feel like I never have time to use the dragon breath. So I'm trying to find out a way to just like get quicker spells out. So this is what I figured out. This is what I like using. And then last but not least, I want to go over stats. So what I did is I got strength to 60 and then arcane to 53 so that I could use Bale's Tyranny and his other one. I haven't got the other one yet because I only had 1 heart. But I got to 53 and I stopped leveling arcane because the weapons that are used scale more off strength. So I decided to finish that up to 60. And then personally, you can do whatever you want with your other levels. I would just highly recommend getting strength to 60, arcane to 53. I like faith spells, so I'm pumping faith. But if you want to go more tanky, you can pump bigger. If you want bigger mind, instead of having to use a bunch of mana chalices, you can do that. You can pump mind. If I wasn't leveling faith, would definitely be pumping mind. So if you just want to do you're okay with like 25, I would at least have 25 faith so that you can use Golden Vow. If you're like, okay, I'm okay with 25, pump mind. You want mind up high so you can keep spamming your spells, your skills. But that is my Dragon Magma Faith build. I don't know what to call. I'll find a name. But that's my Dragon Magma Faith build. I really, really love this build, so I'm sharing it with you guys. I already had a video on it once, but I wanted to go more in detail with you guys, give you some alternatives. if you have any questions, please just let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to answer for you. And if you have any suggestions that can make this even better, please let me know down in the comments, and then I will put it to test and probably make another video if it's way better than what I have right now. So just let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying my content, and I will see you all in the next build. Peace out.